Red Priest Thoros of MYR freezes to death shortly after a scene that's reminiscent of the Revenant bear fight, reminding us of Leonardo DiCaprio and his infamous bear just enough to make us uncomfortable. Although he will no longer be able to bring Beric Dondarrion back to life, he has died 6 times already. This twist sets up the scene for another book fact we have yet not seen in the show. In A Feast for Crows, Beric Dondarrion demonstrates he is also capable of giving the kiss of life, a rite where the Red Priests of Ruhr breath fire and life back into a dead person, bringing them back to the realm of the living. This may hint at another major character's death and resurrection. However, it also opens up many questions about the Lord of Light. The god has been spoken of many times throughout the show, and yet we don't really know what its motives are for bringing both Beric Dondarrion and Jon Snow back to life. Women we love in Game of Thrones. Who is the Night King? The Night King and the White Walkers remain very mysterious, although this season is giving us a lot more information about what they can do. We know that the Night King was created by the Children of the Forest, who stabbed him in the heart with a dragonglass dagger back in Season 6. However, we still don't know who that man was. Why is there no sex in Game of Thrones anymore? Some theories predict him to be a member of the Stark family, but whether or not he is a Stark, we still do not have a clear understanding of what he wants. So far, he is being portrayed as a mindless villain without dialogue or apparent motivation beyond killing, well, everyone. Questions also remain about his abilities. As we saw last episode, he can interfere with Bran's Greenseer powers, he can create White Walkers and control Whites only within limited proximity. One big discovery this episode was that he can not only easily kill a dragon, it only took him one ice spear and a hell of an aim, but he can also turn them into ice dragons. The most important fact we learned, however, as revealed by Beric Dondarrion, kill him. He turned them all. Ending the war against winter could be as simple as killing the Night King. Well, kind of. Ice dragons are real. Holy Mother of Dragons. Game of Thrones just confirmed one of its biggest book theories: ice dragons are real. In the books, ice dragons are vaguely referenced a couple of times through Old Man's Tales. Hodar's great-grandmother and servant to the Stark family. Watch the Game of Thrones blooper reel immediately. Did you spot the incredible revelation in Game of Thrones Episode 5? Many book readers have longed for this moment in the show, and it has finally become reality. How this new development will affect the war is still to be seen. Dragons and the Wall are both magical, so we can't help but wonder if undead Viserion will subsequently be used to help bring down the Wall. And there is more. If the 3-head dragon prophecy is true, the Night King will become the 3rd dragon rider, which, let's be honest, would make for some pretty cool battle scenes. Alternatively, the Night King could simply command it telepathically, which would give Bran a nice chance to help in battle by interfering between them. We can't wait to find out. Littlefinger's downfall. We are more suspicious than ever about the validity of Sansa and Arya's conflict. More accurately, we hope they are playing Littlefinger instead of being played by him. Arya is now a skilled fighter, Sansa has had her experience of treason from Baelish, and the letter plot is just a little weak. Littlefinger is a cunning, clever man who has gotten away with many shady plots, so far unscathed. However, he did so with the advantage of playing in the shadows. Now he's out in the sun, and Jon, Sansa, and Bran have all openly expressed their distrust, which puts him in a difficult position to effectively manipulate others without giving himself up. This might just be the beginning of Littlefinger's end. He might find himself as the common enemy of the Stark sisters. Knowing that Arya keeps the faces of those she kills, we could be in for some very interesting storylines, including Arya wearing Baelish's face. Family romances. In this single season, the Mother of Dragons has lost most of her Westerosi alliances, Dorne and Highgarden, and one of her 3 children, Viserion. There is now talk of succession, with Tyrion pressing the subject of who would take over her new world if she was to die. This hints at 2 possibilities: 1, that Daenerys dies this season, please no, or 2, Daenerys and Jon will join the Game of Thrones incest party and have a baby. Romance has been strongly hinted at since their first encounter. But Daenerys can't have children, you say? Indeed, after trying to save Drogo using blood magic, the witch Mirri Maz Duur implies that Daenerys is infertile with the following prophecy, as this quote from the book reveals. When the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, Mirri Maz Duur tells her after she demands to know when Drogo will be back to normal. When the seas go dry and mountains blow in the wind like leaves. When your womb quickens again, and you bear a living child. Then he will return, and not before. This prophecy is cryptic, to say the least, and many show fans have demonstrated it doesn't necessarily mean that she can never have children. Incest or not, many are rooting for these 2. We wonder if the prophecy is true. Does Drogo come back from the dead when she has a child? Now that would be one awkward love triangle. Like this. Now read, did you spot the incredible revelation in Game of Thrones Episode 5? Why is there no sex in Game of Thrones anymore? The best Game of Thrones sex scenes